I've looked at all the different diets, all the different remedies, all the foods not to eat, all the foods to eat, all the liquids to drink and not. It's just too confusing. I've spent 5 years, just short of 5 years, to find Buteyko. Diarrhea was a routine. I had no control over my digestive system. I've had to change everything I do in my life. And I lost a lot of weight. But I then lost a lot of weight when I started with Buteyko. In the last 2 months, I've lost 6.5 kilograms. That 6.5 kilograms has brought me down to a weight where I feel energized.
I have lost weight. I never felt that I was significantly overweight, but I did lose weight, and I'm at a weight now that I feel is very compatible for my body type.
I've lost a total of about 40 pounds, which I could never get off before. Even eating healthy and organic, I could not get that weight off me. And I realized it was really just the toxins that were being held in my system that had nowhere to go. 15 pounds just flew off me almost immediately. I still have some food allergies, but I have a pretty good variety in my diet, and my weight's been stable.
My weight has stabilized around like 10 pounds lower. So pretty much like all the sweets and stuff that I used to eat and alcohol every day, just now it's like I just feel no urge. My family definitely noticed.
When you start breathing right, you start seeing differences in your weight. The fat is slowly disappearing. If you breathe right, you ain't getting fat, never.
One of the side effects of this Buteyko practice is that you do lose weight. And one of the side effects of loads of medication that I was on was that you gain weight. Cutting the medication down and doing Buteyko, I've lost about 3 stone and I just feel so much better.
The first thing that happened is that I started losing weight. Well, I wasn't even thinking about my weight. I had a bit of a middle-aged spread, a bit of a tummy. It didn't bother me. My control pulse is now about 50 and I've lost 10 kilos without trying to lose 10 kilos. It was very bizarre. I have been on weight loss diets in my time in my 20s and they hurt. That's really unpleasant. And this was nothing like it. It was just my appetite just guided me.
Appetite was reduced a little bit. The first 2 or 3 weeks, I noticed that my weight was reduced in about 2 or 3 kilograms.
I also did lose quite a lot of weight, but I felt fine the whole time. I didn't feel like I was doing anything wrong.
One of the features of the practice, not that I was trying for this to happen, is just feeling less hungry. So still eating regularly, but not needing to eat as much. And I've lost about 3 stone now. So I've gone down 2 dress sizes, which is great.
I've gone from a 34 waist back to a 32 waist, not by going on some fancy diet.
Some clothes that I thought I'd probably never wear again, they're actually kind of loose on me now. So the distribution of my weight has changed. And a lot of people have noticed that.
Well, that's the thing, that the fat cells fall off and then muscle tissue improves and the tone improves.
I've noticed even some facial changes.
I am 82 years old. I'm practicing Buteyko. I have lost weight.
My weight has dropped. I've lost between 2 and 3 stone. That's without really trying, without really doing anything. The method, automatically, I don't need to eat that much.
I've lost so much weight. I feel like I'm super skinny now. My face has changed dramatically. My face is much more aesthetically pleasing and feels a lot better. My skin's cleared up. I don't have many pimples at all anymore.
I felt less hungry. I cut down my breakfast by half. Your appetite significantly goes down as you practice Buteyko. I was not overweight to begin with, but with Buteyko breathing, I effortlessly dropped 2 kilograms. That's a good thing.
I'm losing a bit of weight too.
Yeah.
That's normal with it as well.
Yeah.
You don't have to eat as much. You don't be as thirsty either.
I remember walking into the room and showing Terry and saying, look, I can see my abs again. I mean, this is something else.
The method actually helps you to not be so hungry all the time. As a matter of fact, sometimes if you are hungry, you can do a couple of pauses and you don't feel that hungry anymore after that.
Sometimes I'd even do breathing instead of having one meal. I'd do that before I had something to eat. It would just reduce the amount of food I would eat.
I'd say I eat about half the amount of food that I would have eaten a couple of years ago.
I was able to lose a lot of weight by doing Buteyko, because when you feel like eating and you do a set, that urge to eat is gone. It has to do with your blood sugar level. It is leveled out by doing the set, and the CO2 helps to do that. And it really helped a lot. So that's why I was able to lose 22 kilos.
Trouble with blood sugar. I used to have a lot of blood sugar crashes and have to always be carrying food with me, and I'd have to eat regularly. And when I practice my breathing, which I do, I practice every day, I've noticed that I don't get as hungry as I used to, and my blood sugar is not dropping.
The energy drops I used to get were ghastly. Sugar drop, all just so inconvenient and impractical, having to stuff something into one's face every couple of hours thinking this is going to make you feel better.
I was really eating for balancing my sugar levels. And once I replaced that with breathing, my blood sugar levels stabilized dramatically, and was really now only eating when I was hungry, and consequently enjoying my food a lot more and wanting to eat more healthily.
I used to gorge myself. I used to eat 6 times a day and still feel hungry. The biggest single difference for me now is the ability to digest, or let's say the ability to realize that having too much to eat and maybe some of the wrong things to eat is really not very clever. I'm more likely to say, I'm not going to have 2 of them, I've had enough of that. Or if I say I'm going to have another scoop of something, then I know that the consequences are I'm going to have to practice because it's going to weigh me down.
There's a feeling of lightness. The best description that I can give is it's like a feeling of having swapped bodies. I used to think, I wonder what it would be like to be in a lighter body, like just different body with more energy. And I have it. It's weird. When I was a kid, my mum used to drive a Fiat 500, and it was like, it was like this. And now it feels like I'm not in that Fiat 500 anymore. I'm being carried in this sort of Jaguar that sort of purrs. So like simple things like going for a walk is like, kind of like, it feels really easy. And I look forward to going for a walk because I can go quite fast and not get out of breath. And that's nice. I never knew that I was getting out of breath. It never crossed my mind because you don't know that you're hyperventilating.
After 3 months, I'd actually lost 2 stone. I went down to 9 stone. And it was the most wonderful feeling of wellness and, yes, a new person.
When you start breathing right, you start seeing differences in your weight.